Welcome back, my dark means, to the WTF News, or in other words, what the beep? Basically, the anime version. So basically, right now we have some big topics today. If you haven't seen you've probably seen the title of the video. It's basically what's going on, because the ban has finally been basically disapproved. It's not been approved at all, thankfully, because that would have been very bad, and it was going to be very bad for us if it actually had passed. And it's some good news here as well. Now, what was I thinking? Oh yeah. So basically, if you don't know what happened, I did make a video on this before. Basically, I'm gonna give you the highlights just to let you know. I did not get this much information, but this is from an actual YouTuber. I already made a video on this topic, but I have made, what was it? I have watched another YouTuber. It's Lost Pause, but just to let you know, I'm not plagiarizing anything, even though it is going to be in order here. Okay? Basically, I'm just getting the topics that are important in this video. All right? And I'm not plagiarizing anything. The WTF News is basically about me spreading the information around as much as possible. And hopefully nobody gets offense that I'm actually using some pointers from other videos and to help spread that information around. Now, to give you the information what's happening currently, this is what I'm going to be reading off the video right now. Basically, about the ban and why this was happening. Basically, the reason why is because they want to defend and stop the ban on animation, on anime, because they were about kids, which are not real. Now, basically, this is what the UN did. And this was their definition. Basically, child pornography is defined in Article 2 OPSC as any representation of a child engaged in real or simulated explicit sexual activities. Hopefully that doesn't get me demonetized. Regardless of the means used or any representation of the sexual parts of a child. For primarily sexual purposes, the qualification by whatever means reflects the broad range of material available in a variety of media, online and offline. It includes inter alia, I don't know what that means, visual materials such as photographs, movies, drawings, and cartoons. Yes, people start raging, don't start with me. And audio representation, any digital media representation, live performances, written materials in print or online, and physical objects such as sculptures, toys, and ornaments. Basically, that's basically what's happening. And just to let you know this now, is that it's vague. It's vague. Basically, the drawings or cartoons just basically means it's basically anything that's being drawn at all. And that's very not good here. And that is basically what is happening now. Basically, the UN is trying to ban anything that involves the drawing and cartoons. Basically, throwing anime in there and also manga. Basically, people, please don't start raging here. And let's let it be for the time being. And basically, what's happening is that they tried to pass this law. Thankfully, other countries have finally decided that, what was it? Basically, decided that they're gonna go up against this and fight against this. Sorry. And basically, this first one, the first version, hopefully I got this one. This one is about the states where I live in, and basically. Basically, this is against the freedom of our rights here. This will go against freedom of speech and freedom of drawing and creating things in our states. I'm trying to get as much possible here, but that's basically what it is. Like I said, this is all going to be in order from the video that I'm watching right now. Well, I've already watched it before, but I'm just getting the pointers of the certain things here. Now, here's the one for the states version. Paragraph 62, I know I'm doing this awful, but this is a serious matter, and I'm trying my best here. Basically, paragraph 62 urges states parties to prohibit by law child sexual abuse, material in any form. And just before we continue on, I'm all for protecting the kids here. Everything involved, of course, we all know that child pornography is a big no-no in any form, and I support the fact that we are stopping that we will not allow that kind of thing here. Now, to continue on, I'm all support of stopping that thing at all. But what they're trying, well, where the UN is trying to do is trying to stop everything as much as possible. Now let's continue on. In material in any form, including when such material represents realistic representation of non-existing children. In the United States, federal law prohibits that it is illegal to create, possess, or distribute a visual depiction of any kind, including a drawing, cartoon, sculpture, or painting. Sorry, my TV cuts up a little bit here. Or painting that depicts a minor engaging in sexually explicit conduct and is obscene. However, visual depictions, CGI, anime, etc., where there is not a real child, are typically protected by the First Amendment unless the visual depictions are obscene and the United States obligation under the ICCPR. We suggest editing the paragraphs as follows. Urges states parties to prohibit by law consistent with their national legal systems child sexual abuse material in any form, including when such material represents realistic representations of non-existing children. Basically, America is basically saying, the states, the United States basically saying, hey, yo, UN, what are you doing? This is going against our freedom of speech here. So you better not do this, because this, and also you better change your laws over there, because literally it should only depict should only depict real life children and not fantasy children that don't even deserve any rights, because literally it's all about fantasy. It's literally in the work of fiction. Basically. Literally. The unit is trying to ban this, trying to make everything under the sun that's drawing or anime basically a law. Basically, it's like if the person that created the genre decides to, kill the character there, that person, the person that wrote it, drew it, is basically on the grounds of being arrested, which makes no sense. So basically, the United States is against this, and I'm glad for that. Now, we're going to be moving on further down the line in this video, and I'm going to be getting on with another country that's against this as well. Basically, this is the Japan version of this. Like I said, I'm watching a video here. Well, not really watching it. I'm actually just doing it. Plus, I have no idea how to pull it up on my computer without having my recording stop, so please forgive me. Now, as I said before... Oh, heck, I freaking hit my thing. Wait, am I paused? Yeah, I'm paused today. Now, as I'm saying, this is the Japan version, who is also against this, which of course is basically what's running their country. So let's continue on. Now, and here's the article, this is in the Article 14 of theirs. Japan believes that restriction on freedom of expression should be kept to a minimum, and that highly careful consideration needs to be given into the scope of child pornography. In light of this, considering that pornography is traditionally referred to as visually recognizable objects, whether it includes audio representation, I don't know how I can say that way. Actually, how am I not able to say that way? Representations or written materials needs to be carefully considered. Japan thus proposed deleting audio representations and written material in print or online from the third sentence of paragraph 61. Now that one's telling, because this is what Japan thinks. Japan is saying to the UN, hey, UN, do you realize that you need to actually go after the real stuff, not the fake stuff? Basically, any audio representation and written materials in print or online, basically they're saying they should delete the audio representation, because, of course, some of these things are voice acted, and basically putting that under the sun will basically deal with that thing. So basically, audio representations and written materials in print or online, basically anything that's basically created in fantasy or even voice acted should not be held accountable. Basically, Japan is basically saying F you to the UN, saying that you should not be doing this because it's against the rights and freedom of creating stuff, of creating new items into the game, into the genre. Sorry, I'm being serious here, but when I do get serious, I start trying to stutter here as much as possible, which is weird. And basically Japan is saying that this should not be allowed and you should not be doing this. So either fix your law or don't bother trying to ban this problem. Now, which is actually pretty good here, and I like that. And I'm sorry that it's kind of a bit of a rush here because I'm trying to get to some of these points, and really I'm trying to get this video long so it doesn't get too long. Now, as I'm saying, now let's move on to the last country, which is actually Austria. Oh wait, hold up. I think this. Hold up. Let me check in the video here. No, Austria. That's. Oh wait, no. Austria's the next one. Now we're still in the Japan thing. In addition, for the reason explained above, where the penal sanctions should be imposed even if the case involves pornography on non-existent child needs to be carefully considered. Japan proposes adding as far as it represents an existing child at the end of the paragraph 61. Basically, would you hear that? Basically, Japan's saying that it has to be with an existing child, an existing person. If it's not a real life person, it should not be against the law. Basically, fantasy creation should not be given rights at all. Like, it's like giving my cup of water the right for me to not drink from it. Oh, I can't drink from my cup of water, so because that's like sexual harassment or something. So if I drink out of it, I'm liable to be so I'm breaking the law by drinking out of a freaking cup. Basically, that's basically what it is. Basically, Japan says, F you, if it's not a real thing, it should not be held accountable. If it's a real thing, that should be held accountable. For, like I said, child pornography, that's a real problem, and that should literally what we should be going after. Not fake stuff that are basically are not doing any harm and are just a work of fiction. Now let's go to the final country here, which is basically Austria, people, which I haven't... Whoa! I almost dropped my controller. Basically, Austria, here's what it is for them. Sorry I'm trying to do this, but I'm trying my best here. According to the committee's proposed drawings and cartoons can be regarded as child pornography in the sense of Article 2, letter C of the OPSC. In this context, we would like to point out that the definition of child pornography in the more recent EU Directive 2011/93/EU compromises 1. Depictions of real child, Article 2, letter C, I, and double I. Well, I don't know what that means, so I'm not even gonna bother. Number one, depictions of any person appearing to be a child, Article 2, letter C, triple I. No, here's the third, and then 2, realistic images of a child, Article 2, letter C, I, V, E. Basically. As far as drawings and cartoons do not contain realistic images, we do not see the necessity to treat them as child pornography. Basically, Austria is saying, yo, F you. If it's not real, you shouldn't be going after this. Basically, that's what Austria is saying. Now, let me see if there's anything else here. Nope. No, there's nothing else here, so I can actually end it right there. Like I said, all this is from the video here that I'm watching, but I'm not even going to link it down below because I want this to be, because I already let you know that this is actually from a Lost Pause video, and I just came here to do the highlights of it, so I can make a video of my own, so to spread this around. Now here it is. Like I said, Austria is saying F you, if it's not depicting a real child, it should not be accountable at all. Basically, all these countries are saying, F you, this is not right, you should not be doing this, it's against freedom of creation of fiction, and nobody should be held accountable. And thank goodness that thanks to these three countries, the UN has backed off, and now they can't do anything. Now, if this is, now, hopefully this is the end, but unfortunately, how this works out, more like this isn't going to be the end of this. The UN is going to try to figure out how to bring this back, how to get fiction to be banned or something, because it's harmful or something, which makes no sense to me. It's not harmful at all. It's basically something that people can create and make works of art here. They're basically art. You're basically saying that art should be held accountable of being created here. Now let me give you my thoughts on this, and I'll be ending the video there. And I have to say this now, that I'm glad that this kind of thing did not pass. I'm happy that the U.S. Sorry, I said America, but the U.S. is just part of America. That the U.S., Japan, and Austria basically fought against this, and I'm glad for that. And also, UN, I need to let you know this now. Let me give you advice here. Don't go after problems that don't need to be solved. Don't create a problem that needs to be solved. This kind of thing is not a problem. It's harmless. Basically, you should be going after problems that actually exist. There's like a whole bunch of problems around the world that you need to take priority here. This kind of thing does not need to be an issue here. What you're doing here is trying to stop creativity. Alright? Now, like I said before, in reality here, the UN, you need to not go after these kind of problems. Actually, these are not even problems at all. These are just harmless. And if you say that, oh, it's inspiring people to do these kind of acts, UN, just let you know this now. These things are not inspiring any kind of people. The only thing they're inspiring in people are the people that need help. Alright? You need to be dealing with the people who are getting inspired, who are sick in the head, and are actually basically doing this in real life. Those are the people that need help. They need doctors, anything to help them get through this and to not get inspired by this. Those are the people that need it. Not the people, not you make up a problem saying everybody's being inspired to do this. No, the people who are easily inspired, the ones who are sick in the head, are the ones that need help. Alright. Now, UN, please, go deal with the real life issues and leave the fiction alone. Alright? Alright. And that's all I have in today's video here. I'm glad though this did not pass. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Let me know if I forgot anything and down in the comments below. And let me know if you're happy that this did not pass at all. Alright, now, what else is left? Yeah, that's basically what I have right now. Alright, and that's about it. Alright, like I said, let me know down in the comments. Subscribe. Press the little bell next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever my videos come up. Also, press the little bell next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever my videos come up. I just said that. Or just come to my channel because you know how YouTube is. And also, if you get a choice, because the bell sometimes gives you a choice between all and sometimes, press the all button so you'll be notified all the time when my videos come up. Also, share my videos as well so we can spread this good news around. And what else? Like, subscribe, comment down below, share my video, press the bell. Yeah, I've said everything. Now, I will be making another WTF News with the gaming version. If you'd like to say until then, let me know. Stay then. I welcome it. If not, okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Alright. So, right now, my dog means dismissed.